Hey guys, hope you're having a great day. This video is going to be all about how we make homemade kombucha. Now, I've been making this for a really long time. Before we moved here, I got my girlfriend made it and she showed me how to make it, and we've been making it for at least 6, 7, I'm going to say it's been about 8 years that we've been making kombucha for, and I never realized my husband was at the store the other day with one of his friends, and he talked to him about how good kombucha was helped his stomach in that. So he told my husband, why don't you try a bottle of kombucha? And so my husband bought 2 flavors of kombucha at the store. We've never ever purchased kombucha from the store before, and he tried it and he said, oh, he says, that was nasty tasting. He says, your homemade kombucha is way better. And so I was surprised because I've never bought it at the store. I've always had it at home, and I thought one time I saw it in the store and I thought, I wonder if I should buy that. And I thought it was just so expensive. I said, there's no way I paid $5 for a tiny bottle when I can make it at home for pennies. So I thought, I was sitting here mixing mine up today. I thought, I should do a video to show people how to make that. So that is what I'm going to do. So what you do, you have to have, I make mine in a gallon jug container. These I got from, we got these at an Amish store, but you can get them from like pickle containers, things like that, like when you're reusable pickle containers or sauerkraut containers from Sam's Club when you use them, and then you can use the jars. And so this is what, I just already took some out of it, but it looks like it's got the SCOBY floating in the top. You have to get one of these. I think you can get them online, order them, and they're dry. If you can find somebody that has their own kombucha, they can literally pull this off. And there's like, it's got the mama SCOBY and then the baby. And so you can, sounds gross, I know. You can pull the baby off and then you can make a new one. So I used to keep these in jars, the extra ones, and I thought no point to do that. I can just keep them in here. But every time it makes a batch, it makes a new SCOBY on it. So you can pull it off. To me, it looks like a placenta. I know that sounds disgusting, but it's good. And then in here, I mix up what I do to make my mixture is I'll boil in my pan. I used to make hot and then add cold to it. I realize if I just do this one time, it's so much easier. So in my pot, it's about, I'm gonna look at it, about half full, oops. Focus, about half full of water, and then I put in 6 tea bags, just regular tea bags, not green tea, just regular black tea, and then I use 1.5 cups of sugar. I used to use 2 cups of sugar. I started doing about 1.5 cups, and we like that taste better. So you boil this, and then you shut it off, just stir it, and then shut it off and let it simmer. Let it cool off, and then you can add it. Don't add that mixture when it's hot because it will kill your SCOBY and ruin it. And so I just do it on the stove. I'll leave it on there. I'm going to take this out of the jar. I just made it easier. Before I used to do it in these bunch of steps. I'd keep my SCOBY out in a separate container, and then I'd mix everything in the jar and let it cool, and then finally add it back. And I realized if I just do it in here in the pan, let it boil, shut it off, let it stir it up, let it steep for a while till it's like lukewarm temperature, and then just pour it back in the jar. It's so much easier. So this is what we do. I got a girlfriend, she gave me these bottles, and so I've always saw these to put the kombucha in, but I've never would pay the money to buy one, and so I got 2 of them. So this month I'm actually going to pour some in there. So what you do is you pour this into glass quart jars, or I'm going to pour them into those bottles as well. That's your first step. Don't take out the SCOBY, you're going to need that, and you need to keep about a cup of liquid back as a starter for the next batch. So I'm going to mix that, or pour that into the jars right now. Poured mine in my jars, and this is what it looks like. And so I got about that much, and then I took out the SCOBY here. I took off the baby SCOBY, and I took off the mama SCOBY. This one had a little hole in it from where I tore it last time, so I'm gonna throw this away. This will be my starter. So what I'm gonna do while I'm waiting for my tea to cool, I'm just gonna keep my towel over top so that nothing gets in there like fruit flies or anything. You don't wanna contaminate your SCOBY because fruit flies like to go to this, and then what will happen is you'll get infected SCOBY. So you don't want to do that. Make sure your hands are really clean too when you're doing this process. And so before you touch anything, wash your hands so you don't get anything with germs on it, bacteria. And then what we do is we like to flavor ours with blueberry. We've tried so many different things. My girlfriend does cinnamon sticks, and she really likes that. We've tried that. We didn't care for that. We tried raisins, and it makes it a little more bubbly. And then we've also done strawberries, and they're okay. Not our favorite, but our favorite is blueberries. So what I do, we just put, oh, the big ones aren't gonna, there we go. I'm gonna probably put about 6 blueberries in those jars there. And that's all it needs. It doesn't need very much for the flavor. And then this is gonna go the second, this probably needs less because it's less amount. This is gonna be the second fermentation of these. And if you wanna learn about all the health benefits of kombucha, go do a search on that. I'm sure someone has done a video on all the health benefits because there are plenty. Thank you. What you're going to do is close your jars. tight. This, I've never used these before, so this is fun. I figure out how to do that here. Ah, learn the jar. Oh, like this. Okay. There we go. After I put those in the counter, this has already been boiled, and so now I'm just gonna let it steep, and I'll probably just take it off here in an hour or two, and then I will pour that into here, and if I need to add more water, I'll add more water to make it reach up to the top, and then I'll put this back on top, put a rubber band, and let it sit in the cupboard for about a week to 10 days. Usually, you can let it go longer. I have let my last batch, we went for a really long time. We were drinking a lot of this, where we were doing like, I got the big giant 2.5 gallon glass jars, and I was doing 4 or 5, like a lot of kombucha, like 6-7 gallons for every, like at least a couple times a month. And so we were drinking a lot of, we were drinking a lot of it. And then I just, we just got tired of drinking it and didn't drink it anymore. And so now I just do this little gallon jug, and it's been enough. And then my husband's like, I want you to make some more. And so I probably will make another one. And it's real simple because that SCOBY that I pulled off, I could just make another jar with that started. It's just, it keeps multiplying, so it never goes bad, which is great. But I'll just do this for now. And then, so I'll let that water boil, let it cool off, and then I'll just pour it into this jar, put my towel on top with a rubber band so nothing gets into it, put it up in my cupboard and close the door and let it sit for about a week to 10 days. You can let it go longer. The last batch we let go for like 2-3 months. My SCOBY was like this thick on it, but it tasted fine. I thought maybe it would taste too vinegary, but it actually tasted really good. And so we'll let it go for a long time. Sometimes we just let it go for a week. I think the minimum is like a week to do it. So it just depends. But this is a real simple way to make kombucha, and you can do it from home. So you just got to get a hold of somebody that's got a SCOBY. So I don't know if you can advertise maybe on Facebook or something for anybody that makes kombucha that would offer a SCOBY, because most people that make kombucha, there's an awful lot of SCOBYs that are just getting thrown away. So you probably could do that. But I remember reading online where you can get like a powdered one and then you hydrate it, but I don't know how that works or if it works at all. So, okay, so I'm gonna let this sit, and then I will show you how I add it after it's all cooled off. Okay, so now that I've got my kombucha, remember I mixed up my tea here and I let it cool off. So I strained out the tea bags. I used to do the ones with the strings and they just get stuck on the little handle of the spoon. So just using the bags is easy enough. So that's cool. So I'm just gonna open this up. And all I do, everything's in here, my SCOBY's in, stuck to the side there it looks like, and all you're gonna do is pour this in here. There's about a cup of starter inside of there, and that's all you need to keep it to activate it. If you don't put that starter in, it's not gonna work. So actually it's almost to the top. Oh, very good, right there, right to the top. Perfect, so there's that. Then what I'm gonna do is put the tea towel back on. I just do a thin layer so that it can breathe. It doesn't have to be double, so just a thin layer at the top. Use a ponytail holder or a rubber band. Oops, put this on, there we go. And then I'm gonna put it in my cupboard for about a week to 10 days. If I forget and it goes 2 weeks, that's okay too. Just to let it do its work. So the SCOBY will eat all the sugar that is in here, and then it'll do what it does to make it a good healthy drink. So, okay, my kombucha has been sitting now for about 3 days, and this is what it looks like. It's beautiful. This actually grew another SCOBY on it, so I would have an extra SCOBY if somebody needed it. I've never done the jars or the glass bottles, so let me see if those are busier. I forget how to open these things. So I got the jars open. I'm gonna just pour this. I just put some ice in here, and I will just pour it. Oh, that's not gonna work. I'm gonna pour it in here. Sometimes some people like to skim it out like with a little strainer, and you can do that if you buy one of those. I think they're at the dollar store. You can get them at Walmart for like $1. They're these. This helps get the yucky out of there. I just had a blueberry drop in there, no big deal. I'll just end up throwing that away, but that's it. It's so good. It's delicious. It's like a sweet vinegary, but it's not that bad. Good for you kombucha. So that's my kombucha. I'll be putting these in the refrigerator, and my next batch will be ready to do the same thing too, and I'll start getting the next one. These jars will be empty, or it depends how fast we drink it. If we don't drink it quickly, I'll just be putting them more into glass jars, and then doing another batch, and we'll be having kombucha. I'm going to try to have one of these every day this month. Okay, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, how we make kombucha the quick and easy way. Have a great day.